guys have been at Waka for just a couple hours. How do you feel about the scene so far? Do you get to check anybody out yet, or?
Haven't got to check too much out yet, but there's a bunch of great bands and all kinds of cool stuff going on. We have a good set tonight, so our lighting engineer is excited because he has a lot of toys. But yeah, we're psyched to be here. It's like one of the first big festivals of the year, and a lot of great music, a lot of great fans. So I'm sure it's gonna be great.
Okay, cool. Well, you guys actually started your own festival, the Festi. So what's it kind of like for y'all as far as being on the other side? What have you learned about festivals that maybe you didn't know before?
Well, this part of doing the Festi was because we've been to so many different festivals, and we were able to sort of put all of that sort of research into our own festival, things that we liked, things that we didn't like, and make what we felt was like the best way to do things. So it's always a learning experience that when you come to a festival and see things from the inside, from the outside, as walking around as a fan and stuff. It helps you sort of make decisions on your own.
There's a lot of cool things about a big festival like this. Just even simple things, just the way it looks. I mean, they have a big budget, but they put a lot of time and energy into what you see when you walk around, and I think that's great. I think that's really important, especially for this spot is relatively plain. It's just a big field basically, and they've got some good permanent infrastructure, but there's a lot of good design, a lot of colorful things you see around the site, and we're trying to do more of that at the Festi, albeit much smaller event. But we try and just bring the best of everything that we see when we're on the road and combine it at that event in the fall.
Okay. Well, Chris, you did the keynote speech last year for IBMA, and that kind of sparked a lot of discussion among the bluegrass world. Can you talk anything about what's happened since then, or maybe some of the key points that you made in the speech?
Well, the main point was pretty simple. It was just that the bluegrass world is growing and is definitely related to a bigger music world that involves, bands like the Avett Brothers and Mumford and Sons. I'm not trying to say these are bluegrass bands, but they're clearly related in some way, and they're also playing much bigger shows than anything that's being done in the bluegrass world. So it was kind of a, can't we all just get along sort of thing, and really it was well received by most people. I think that the bluegrass world, like any area of the arts, has people who want to keep it the same, and they're afraid of the evolution, but evolution is really what defines all the arts. So it was, from our perspective as a young band, we were trying to push the boundaries of what we do, the style of music that we play, and really from a fan's perspective, it's just great to meet fans who accept you for what you are instead of comparing you to what's come before. And since then, I think that the world of bands that lies right around the fringes of bluegrass has really kind of unified. I mean, this has been happening for a long time. This isn't necessarily because of me, but it is happening a lot more lately. Leftover Salmon has returned, and bands like Yonder and the Stringdusters, Railroad. Actually the four of us are going down to do Strings and Soul in Mexico this December. So you can kind of see the scene coming together and people working together, and I think just creating more fans, more awareness of the music, and it's a good thing.
Awesome. Well, speaking about bluegrass, we just lost Doc Watson, who was a great part of the bluegrass scene. Is there anything that you guys want to say about that, or maybe any memories that you have from Laurel Fest or any other festivals?
Yeah, I'm playing acoustic guitar professionally because of Doc Watson. Actually, I was playing electric guitar and saw Doc Watson by accident, and went the following week to buy an acoustic guitar and try to learn how to flat pick. So it was it was a monumental moment in my life where I'm now, with the best friends that I have, the band that we have, and doing this, it's a big loss, and kind of thought he would be around forever, but I guess it's how it goes. But yeah, he'll be missed. And we lost a lot of people this year. Earl.
Yeah. Doc, one of the things I love about Doc Watson, I discovered a great term. I was doing some research on Merle Fest, actually, I think around the time that I was doing that piece for American Songwriter, and he coined a really cool phrase that I've sort of ripped off, which is traditional plus. And people asked him, how do you describe your music? And he says, he calls it traditional plus. It's traditional music, you know, based on traditions and the traditional sound that had been around forever, plus everything else that he was into, you know, which is how all musicians are. They take the sum of their influences plus the sort of uniqueness of their own creativity. And a lot of those old guys, Doc Watson included, really embraced that adventuresome spirit in music that I think is kind of missing from those bluegrass fans who are more kind of dyed in the wool traditional and they're afraid of change. And guys like Doc Watson, I mean, he was, you know, Bill Monroe, Earl Scruggs, these were like the innovators. So, you know, it's sad to lose a guy like that because you lose touch with that spirit that was so around when the music was starting. And, you know, these days I think you've got to kind of work to keep it alive. So it was sad to see him go. He's one of the greatest of all time.
Awesome. Well, is there anybody that you're really looking forward to seeing at Wakarusa while you're here?
Yes.
Yeah, there are. You know, we just saw a bunch of our friends back there, and so I'm psyched for Dell tonight and Traveling McCurry's. We're gonna right after this we're gonna go check out them and Nurshi, and then, you know, Primus I think is tonight, and I gotta look at the schedule still.
I want to see some of the late night acts tonight. RJD2, Paper Diamond, cool bands that I've been listening to that have nothing to do with bluegrass, but this is a good spot. They bring together all kinds of different stuff: string band music, rock bands, you know, Humphreys McGee, and then all this sort of DJ sound. So
Lots of options.
a lot to hear.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for sitting down.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely.